Good evening, I am Tammy Reed, in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, 4th April 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, government moving to review the Public Service Act of 2011 and Ministry of Health issues advisory on the seasonal flu. Regionally, Barbadian government to hold first amnesty in over 20 years and assures the public that no one will face prosecution. Internationally, ex-U.S. Vice President pledges to respect women's personal space. And in sports, mini Olympics aftermath, CPS hopes for an even better competition next championship. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back. And now the national news in detail. The Team Unity government of St. Kitts and Nevis is taking the necessary measures to review the Public Service Act of 2011, which is said to infringe on individuals' fundamental rights to freedom of expression and freedom of association. Statutory Rules and Orders number 82, number 11, which gave effect to the 2011 Act, were passed in 2014. Speaking at Community Consultation Town Hall meeting on Tuesday, April 2nd, Attorney General, the Honorable Vincent Byron, stated Statutory Rules and Orders number 9 of 2014 with respect to public service, conduct and ethics of officers code, regulations 36 and 38, prohibited the involvement of any civil servant in public politics activities. A High Court judge recently declared that those regulations were unconstitutional after they were challenged in court by an officer of the St. Kitts and Nevis Customs and Excise Department.
The court does recognize, the law would recognize, that certain classes of public servants should be and can be limited in what they can do. And so if you are a permanent secretary or a director or an important, a senior public servant, those categories of public servants should be limited. And so what this government will do over the next few weeks is to establish categories of public servants, senior public servants, in which we will limit their political activities.
Attorney General Honorable Vincent Byron. Attorney General Byron had this to say.
We will determine that if they want to participate, they should do so properly. They should not be having access to private and confidential government information of a minister and then go on a platform to talk about it. It doesn't make sense. And the law, the Constitution, grants us that flexibility.
Attorney General Honorable Vincent Byron. The Ministry of Health here in St. Kitts and Nevis has issued an advisory informing residents that with the end of the flu season, which extends from October through to April approaching, flu activity in the United States and the Caribbean region remains high. Seasonal influenza is an acute viral infection that spreads easily from person to person, and seasonal epidemics usually occur at this time. Influenza A subtype H3N2, Influenza A subtype H1N1, and Influenza B viruses are still circulating. Influenza A H1N1 virus has been associated with severe diseases and complications in neighboring Caribbean territories. It says since the start of the year, it has received laboratory confirmation for approximately 3 cases of Influenza A H1N1. The advisory from the Office of the Chief Medical Officer further informs that the first and most important step in preventing seasonal flu is to get the flu vaccine each year, and that the influenza vaccine is available at all health centers in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It was first introduced in 2018 to the following 4 adult groups: 1 older adult 65 years and older, 2 adults with chronic illnesses like diabetes and asthma, 3 pregnant women, and 4 healthcare workers. St. Kitts has won the World Destination Stewardship Award last evening, April 3rd. During last night's WTTC Global Summit held in Spain, St. Kitts emerged as winners, beating Brazil and the Philippines. By winning this award, St. Kitts is recognized as the best destination in the world in sustainable tourism. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Mrs. Carleen Henry Morton, and Assistant Secretary Danielle Taylor-Williams were in attendance to accept the coveted title. St. Kitts was one of 3 finalists in the Tourism for the Tomorrow Awards. The Tourism for Tomorrow Awards are the world top honor in sustainable tourism, which recognizes the highest standards in the sector. The awards seek to recognize the best practices in sustainable tourism globally. Tickets have now gone on sale at local outlets for the 23rd edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival. In St. Kitts, the outlets are namely the Ministry of Tourism at the Pelican Mall, Gold Standard at Port Zante, and the TDC Business Center on Central Street in Bastia. Here on Nevis, the only outlet is located at the City Drug Store on Main Street in Charlestown. The event will run from Wednesday 26th to Saturday 29th June. On the 26th, the event will begin with an opening fete called Escape at Salt Plage. Following that, there will be 3 concert nights from Thursday 27th to Saturday 29th June at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium in Bird Rock. The event climaxes on Sunday 30th June with White Sands at Carambola. Artists slated to appear for the festival include Smokey Robinson, Ella Mai, Buju Banton, French Montano, and Davido. The National Housing Corporation, NHC, does not operate based on a political agenda. That's according to NHC's General Manager, Mr. Charles Morton. NHC is an institution that provides affordable houses for the working class by helping citizens realize their goals of owning properties and ensuring that their goals are achieved regardless of their status. In addressing the issue of NHC being a political organization, Mr. Morton said that the organization is professional. According to GM Morton, in a society where some persons are politically sensitive, individuals will link getting a house to politics. Meanwhile, mortgage manager at the NHC, Ms. Williams, shared the same views and noted that the mandate of NHC is to build for the poor and the indigent. The government of the Republic of Cuba has announced the availability of 8 scholarships for citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to pursue studies in Cuba. 4 scholarships are available in medicinal sciences, 1 for a bachelor or higher education career, 1 in health technologies nursing bachelor's degree, and 2 in medical specialties, postgraduate studies for graduates from the Latin American School of Medicine, ELAM, who work in public health institutions in St. Kitts and Nevis. Applicants must present certified copies of their birth certificates, high school and CAPE transcripts and certificates, passport information page, immunization card, and a police record. Applications must be received by the Human Resource Management Department on or before Friday, April 12, 2019. For further information, interested persons should contact the Human Resource Management Department at 467-1040. Finally, Dion Brown of St. Kitts is one of 5 OECS social entrepreneurs that have been nominated for participation at the One Young World Summit 2019. Brown was nominated for his Boys Mentorship Program initiative in the area of poverty alleviation. The One Young World Summit seeks to encourage peer-to-peer learning, mentorship by leading figures in various sectors who pursue social reform and change and provide the opportunity for global networking among young social leaders. The summit will be held in London, United Kingdom from 22nd to the 25th October 2019. Dion Brown also received the esteemed Queen's Young Leaders Award for 2017 and was recognized by the Prince of Wales on his visit to St. Kitts on March 22nd. The Queen's Award recognizes and celebrates exceptional young people aged 18 to 29 from across the Commonwealth who organize activities to benefit their community and transform the lives of others. And that's it for our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family to swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Out of Barbados, people with illegal firearms, part of firearms or ammunition, will have from April 7th to midnight on April 13th to turn in their weapons at a police station without having to worry about facing prosecution. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Dale Marshall announced the one-week gun amnesty on Tuesday during discussion on the Bail Amendment Bill 2019 in the House of Assembly. The last amnesty was in 1998, but the minister said people had been asking for another one, and after consultation with police, a decision was taken to offer another one. Marshall said that at the end of the amnesty, he would report to the country on what and how many guns were recovered. Meantime, Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has welcomed news that hundreds of Grenadians will be employed at Royalton, Grenada when the rebranded hotel opens its doors in December. The rebranded hotel Royalton, Grenada will provide direct employment for at least 400 persons, while hundreds of others will also benefit from indirect employment. New majority shareholders of the property, Sunwing Travel Group, has confirmed that in addition to this significant level of direct and indirect employment, when the hotel becomes operational, the construction phase, which gets underway this month, will see the hiring of at least 450 persons. Out of Antigua and Barbuda, officials in the Ministry of Public Works yesterday evicted about 30 Barbudans, including children attending school, that had been displaced by Hurricane Irma and were taking refuge at the Barrymore Hotel. In keeping with its promise to change all the locks to have Barbudans vacate the Fort Road premises, government officials arrived at the hotel around midday and began placing eviction notice on all the doors. The Barbudans, who occupied only a few rooms in the hotel, questioned why they were being evicted from Barrymore when other rooms were available for the use of the foreign nationals. Recently, Prime Minister Gaston Brown on his radio show told listeners that officials from NODS and Ministry of Public Works should treat Barbudans at the hotel who were in a challenging position with soft hands. Minister of Works Lennox Weston told reporters that Barbudans had until March to leave the premises, but no action was taken by the government immediately after that deadline. In the Cayman Islands, 5 days after the Chief Justice rewrote legislation to make same-sex marriage legal, the government has announced it will appeal the ruling. Premier Alden McLaughlin told Parliament on Wednesday that the government had instructed Attorney General Samuel Bolgin to file an appeal with the Court of Appeal and seek a stay of execution of judgment pending the outcome of that appeal. Last Friday, Chief Justice Anthony Smelly amended the marriage law in his judgment on a case brought by Caymanian Chantal Day and her partner Vicky Bodenbush, whose application to get married was refused last April. He said that preventing those persons from accessing marriage and the suite of rights that come with it was a clear violation of freedoms guaranteed in the Constitution, including the right to a private and family life. The ruling was for the clause in the law that specifies marriage is reserved for heterosexual couples to be amended to state that marriage means the union between two people as one another's spouses. Premier McLaughlin said appealing the ruling was not a decision the government had taken lightly. Finally, news from Trinidad and Tobago. The Coast Guard, members of the Organized Crime and Intelligence Unit, OCIU, and Point Fortin Police went to Point Fortin to try to retrieve a suspicious attachment from a ship which docked at the port yesterday afternoon. That attachment turned out to be several packages with an estimated $120 million worth of cocaine. The ship, believed to have come from Spain, was picked up on the radar with a rope tied to the attachment dragging in the water. The authorities were notified and reported to the scene near the LNG liquefied natural gas tanks are located. The captain and crew were detained. A senior officer attached to the Southwestern Division told the T&T publication The Newsday that divers from the Coast Guard retrieved the cocaine. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden has pledged to be more mindful about physical contact with women, hoping to draw a line under a controversy that has clouded his expected White House bid. He posted a video on Twitter saying he will in the future respect personal space. Mr. Biden stressed he has only ever intended to build a human connection rather than make anyone uncomfortable. Mr. Biden, 76, said in a tweet accompanying the video, "Social norms are changing, I understand that, and I've heard what these women are saying." His statement follows accusations against him of unwelcome touching from 4 women in recent days. Parents, including 2 U.S. actresses accused in a college admission scandal, have been told to be careful while discussing it with their children. A judge told defendants, including Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, they should take care not to obstruct justice during family discussions. Prosecutors had wanted the wealthy parents to require a lawyer present. The first group of parents accused of paying $25 million in bribes appeared in Boston federal court on Wednesday. The elaborate scheme, which aimed to acquire places for children at elite U.S. universities, was revealed by federal investigators last month. In total, 50 people, including 33 parents and college athletic coaches, have been charged. Ms. Loughlin, 54, was an actor in the U.S. sitcom Full House. Australia has passed controversial new laws which could see social media executives jailed for hosting violent videos on their platforms. It follows last month's mosque shootings in New Zealand, which was live-streamed on Facebook. The BBC's Phil Mercer reports.
Australia's new law aims to penalise social media companies that don't quickly take down videos showing acts of terrorism, murders, rape or kidnap. Internet service providers and hosting services will have committed a crime if they fail to remove violent material expeditiously. Vendors could be fined up to 10% of their annual turnover and executives jailed for up to 3 years. Say the legislation is flawed, vague and ignores the complexities of monitoring the vast amount of content uploaded to the internet every second.
Finally, the Prime Minister of Belgium, Karl Michel, has apologized on behalf of the state for the kidnapping of thousands of children born to mixed-race couples during the country's colonial rule of Burundi, Congo and Rwanda. The BBC's African editor, Mary Harper, reports.
During the colonial period, children born to Belgian settlers and local women were forcibly taken to Belgium and fostered by Catholic orders and other institutions. About 20,000 children are believed to have been affected. Most fathers refused to acknowledge paternity of their children. Some never received Belgian nationality and remained stateless. 2 years ago, the Catholic Church apologized for its role in the scandal. Belgium was particularly brutal during the colonial period. An estimated 10 to 15 million Africans were killed during its rule of Belgian Congo.
That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
It's Easter, and it's time to hunt your prize. Come and celebrate Easter at the City Drugstore Nevis. Here are the rules. 1. Visit the store. 2. Browse for what you want and browse some more. 3. Choose wisely, and if you present a product with special clues, you win. Prizes include discounts, TDC gift cards, sweet treats, and much more. What's Easter without some shopping fun? So visit the City Drugstore this Easter and win big in our Hunt Your Prize promotion.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In local sports, the Gulf Insurance Inter-Primary Athletics competition ended with the Charleston Primary School CPS dominating for the second consecutive year on Wednesday, April 3rd at the Mondo track. Sports officer at the Charleston Primary School, Kazel Williams, said the children did deliver at the event.
The children went out for it. Last year was a kind of a mix-up, and apparently we won by less than 10 points last year. And the children promised that they will win by 30 odd points this year, and they went out and delivered.
Coach William also hopes for a more interesting event next year.
I would like to say congratulations to all of them. Every school went out and did their best, and we hope for even better competition next year.
Meantime, the Joycelyn Liebert Primary School principal, Miss Barbara Hendrickson, said the school is proud of their athletes.
We are proud of the children. We are happy with their performance. We know that we had some children who went out and they really pushed forward and gave their all. But as a team, we are supportive, we are encouraging. We know that we can come back from third place. The principal also said that they have to prepare for next year. We know that we have to regroup and continue the hard work that we've been doing. The children are in good spirits, and generally we had fun yesterday afternoon, and that is always important to us.
Elsewhere,
my children did exceptionally well. I felt a peace in my soul, knowing that they did their best and their efforts were really, really, really good. Next year, we are aiming for the top. As our motto says, aim at the stars and we will reach the sky.
That's principal of the Ivor Walters Primary, Mrs. Janice Whitaker Richards. Meanwhile, the Maud Cross Preparatory said,
all the schools left with some gold medals. It was not one-sided as years gone by. And I personally want to say thank you to my coaches, Mr. Shefton Liebert, Mr. Sharma, Mr. Leroy Junjun Sweeney, and Mr. Tuckett, and to my parents for their support, and the children who did exceptionally well. We had some mishap this year, but you learn from your mistake, and I can assure you that next year we are coming back for our Zone B trophy.
MCPS Principal Miss Sherry-Ann Walwyn, and
I was very pleased with the competition, and I'm just hoping that we can also have a keen competition next year. We are coming back with a force next year, of course.
That's Miss Chanel Pemberton, principal of the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. Meanwhile, Nevis Academy had these few words.
I thought that we had enough to test ourselves this year. We won 3 medals, 2 bronze medals and 1 silver medal. So it gives us a cushion and a start. We will be participating again next year.
Head coach at the Nevis Academy, Mr. Carlisle Powell. The VON Newsline was unable to speak with the St. Thomas's Primary, St. James's and VOJN schools. Finally, in cricket, the Trinidad and Tobago T&T women cricket team ended their campaign in the West Indies Women T20 Blaze with a 7-wicket defeat to Jamaica yesterday on the final day of action at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. In the first game of a triple-header, TNT posted a score of 145 runs for 6 wickets, and the Jamaicans, who won the toss, replied with 146 for 3 with 8 deliveries to spare. Jamaica replied on an unbroken 4th wicket stand of 90 or 49 balls between Shadeen Nation 63 or 53 balls with 7 fours under 6 and Chanel Henry 44 off 21 deliveries with 4 fours under 6 to guide their team to victory. Leandra Ramdeem, Felicia Walters and Karishma Ramharak got 1 wicket apiece for TNT. TNT and Jamaica each finished the T20 Blaze with a record of 3 wins and 2 defeats. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight, partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers overnight. Weather tomorrow, partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Winds east at 22 to 33 kilometers per hour or 12 to 18 knots and gusting higher in showers. Seas 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet. Small craft operators should exercise caution, mainly on the eastern side of the islands. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:03 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, 4th April 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, government moving to review the Public Service Act of 2011, and Ministry of Health issues advisory on the seasonal flu. Regionally, Barbadian government to hold first amnesty in over 20 years and assures the public that no one will face prosecution. Internationally, ex-US Vice President pledges to respect women's personal space. And in sports, mini Olympics aftermath, CPS hopes for an even better competition next championship. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tammy Reed, wishing you a pleasant evening.